Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Agave Talk, your number one source for everything agave. We appreciate you being here with us today. Today, I'm really excited because I got a Mezcal Tepeztate. Yes, Tepeztate, if you are a Mezcal drinker, you know anytime you drink a Tepeztate, it is definitely a treat. And if you're coming from the tequila world, welcome. You're about to learn what is making this a treat for sure, because this is not just any regular plant. And overall, I bring everybody the brand Koch, right? Koch, Coach, Koch, Koch, however you want to pronounce it, it's all good. Definitely some cool branding. I'm loving the agave, the colors that are popping right here. They do work and make a lot of mezcal and different types of plants, maguey's they're using. But this is the Tepeztate from San Baltazar coming in at, there we go, 47%. So definitely very excited for this. Mezcal Tepeztate. It usually takes to plant about 25 to 35 years to grow. It's not cultivated, like they're not putting it in rows or in lines. It's wild agave. They have to go to the cliff sides. They have to go through the mountains. Very rugged terrain where this plant grows, up in the mountains and pretty high in altitude. So whenever you do find a bottle of Mezcal Tepeztate, typically it's going to be a bit more expensive just because of the time and the cultivation efforts to actually physically go get the plant, and then what they're doing behind the scenes as well. This is a mezcal artesanal. They're using horse-driven tajonas to crush this. They're baking it underground. They're fermenting in open-air cypress barrels, actually, wooden vats, right? So that's going to add some flavor to it. And you can see all that. They have all the production methods actually on the back. Shout out Master Mezcalero, Pedro Hernandez, again from the San Baltazar area of Oaxaca. Their maturation of the agaves are only 12 to 15 years, so that's curious. Like I shared before, maturity of these plants can actually get to 25 to 35 years. So this is cut in half. That's very interesting. I'm curious why they ended up doing that. But overall, you can see even more. Like I said, they're, baking underground. The horse-drawn tahona is how they're crushing it. The cypress vats, letting that fermentation. They're using spring water and then copper stills eventually to distill it. And they even have, cutting of the heads and tails. What is this? Adjustment of alcohol richness, 47%. And there was only 3,402 liters of this produced. And this is coming from 2019. So again, you can see this. The brand itself is actually a collective of families, and they are working now with about 50 families within a collective. And the brand itself, they try to, ensure agave self-sufficiency, sustainable use of water and forest resources, proper waste management. They have a focus on strong social, ecological, and ethical values. So, it's a brand that, hey, they're saying that they give back and that they're really mindful of how they're producing the spirits. And for me, I'm wondering what this tastes like, all right? So we got Tepeztate on the neck. It is completely sealed, and I'm very excited. Let me open this up. If you do ever get a chance to try a bottle of Tepeztate, whatever brand it is, absolutely, I truly encourage you to, because again, it is a rarer agave. You're not really going to see a lot of Tepeztate made. And with that being said, try it. Let your bottles pop. Yes, love the wooden cork on this. You can see right there, Koch Mezcal Artesanal de Oaxaca, and really wooden with the inscription in there. I love that. Well, hey, with that being said, I appreciate you being here. If you have not done so already, hit that like and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at Agave Talk. All right. Oh, man. If you are coming from the tequila world and you've never tried a mezcal, go watch all the other videos that I have. I drink a lot of mezcal for sure. And Agave Tepeztate, like I said, is phenomenal. Sometimes you will see it with an X instead of the Z. Same pronunciation, just different regions, language, dialects, things like that. Some do it with an X, some do it with a Z, but it's the same exact thing, all right? Again, this is coming in at 47%, and the Tepeztate itself, when we're talking about tasting, right, aromas and tasting notes, Just like tequila tastes like tequila, well, an espadín tastes like an espadín. Quiche tastes like a quiche. Tepeztate tastes like a tepeztate. So when we're talking about that, a lot of times, oh my gosh, and I can smell it. It's coming over the camera. Wow. It's like wafting. That's the word, right? Wafting. As I was shaking it, it's coming over 47%. You're gonna get a lot more concentration of the actual the maguey, right? And man, let me just take a smell of this. Oh yes. So tepestates are really, you're gonna have a lot of fresh flavors. Herbal as well. They're very herbal, but there's some mineral. It's got a spiciness to it. And it's complex. It's definitely complex. Oh my gosh, I already know this is going to be phenomenal. Shout out to the team. 47% as well. And just the smell on that. Go get yourself a tepestate. And what would be cool too is, going across brands, Tepestate brand 1, Tepestate brand 2, brand 3, brand 4, and you'll smell and taste a lot of the similarities because of the actual plant, but you're going to taste and smell differences because of the Master Mezcalero's recipe, production methods, how long they let it ferment, how long they let it cook underground, the elevation, the age of the agave, right? So that's something highly encourage anybody to do, especially across mezcal and even tequila for sure. But let's take again just some more, just kind of letting it open. And especially for an agave like the Tepeztate, definitely let that open. That plant has been growing for so long. Give it that respect to just kind of open itself up. That ethanol is going to waft off. And there is a bit of ethanol on there for sure. It's 47%. But as it starts, I haven't touched this yet. As that starts dissipating from the glass, you are going to get those herbal notes, those mineral oats for sure. And we're talking green, fresh. Oh, man, clay, copper. It's leafy as well, even like a clover or like a greenhouse. Like you're physically walking into a greenhouse and it's just green, fresh. Oh, man, but the earth, the mineralness on that. Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Let's take a sip. I could stay here, smell this all day. Cheers. Let's take a sip. Oh, man. That is dirt in your mouth. And I say that in the most complimentary way. If you follow the channel, you know I love my mezcal when it's really dirty. When you're drinking something like this, you are physically drinking the earth. And to me, I mean, that spiritually, that is amazing, right? The plant gave its life to be in this bottle. Oh my gosh, the finish on this. As I'm talking, I still have the taste in my mouth. This right here is fantastic. Let me take another sip. Oh, the mineralness on that. I am getting some peppercorn. It has on the mid to beginning mid palate, there's a little bit of a bitterness. I'm equating it. It's got kind of like a peppercorn, a nutmeg, even kind of spice to it. I told you it's spicy, right? Ethanol, there's no ethanol on this whatsoever. I'm definitely not getting any alcohol, even at a 47%. There was a little in the nose, but it dissipated. I'm not getting it on taste. This is earth. This is earthy. This is mineral for sure. I'm even getting a little bit of like oatmeal. It's kind of like thick. It's kind of chunky. And that's where I shared this right here really is Tepeztate. It's a complex maguey and a complex spirit to really sit and take apart. I could sit here for minutes, like half hour to an hour, really exploring this, pull out the agave wheel, even like set out certain things, like put some nutmeg next to it, put some peppercorn next to it, right? Smell it, taste it, and then take a sip, right? Take a sniff. It's going to take it to the next level. Overall, let me take this. There's about 2 sips in there. And honestly, I think I'm just going to pour some more anyways after the review. Let me take a second to the last. I'm not going to chug that whole thing. Ooh, I'm even getting like clay, like wet clay, a little bit of leather. That fermenting in cypress wood is definitely adding a little bit to it, because you think about like a cypress tree, right? And where those grow, usually like a swamp. Oh my gosh, this is delicious. Absolutely delicious. The finish is long, and I highly, highly recommend not just Koch, the brand Tepeztate, any Tepeztate, seek it out, taste it, and that's that. With that being said, hey, I appreciate you being here. If you have not done so already, hit that like and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at Agave Talk, all right? I'm going to take this last sip off camera. I appreciate you being here, and take care.